Welcome back to another board game tier list, everybody. Today we're doing the War of the Ring Shadow character deck cards, and we're doing the top part of them. So this should be fun. I believe that these are each unique. Yeah, I definitely think they're all unique. Let's see. So S is gonna be the best, F is the worst, and let's get to it. Okay, Captain of Despair. Play on the table if the Witch King is in play and Gollum is not the guide of the Fellowship. Alright, so 2 prerequisites. Starting with the next action, every character action die result that you use is added to the hunt box as an eye. Then the action is completed. Or after the action is completed. You must discard this card from the table immediately if the Fellowship is declared an unconquered Free People stronghold, or if Gollum becomes the guide of the Fellowship. Wow, this is so good! Wow, yeah, that's so good. Yep, S2. So I guess this is maybe the requirements, okay? Any card that you're going to play has to be better than something that you could just naturally do, okay? So if it's barely better, it's probably going to be B. If it is worse, which I don't imagine there's any that are actually worse, it would be over here. But also if it's really hard to get, so like this one has 2 requirements in it or whatever, which would make it hard, but often Gollum isn't the guide, and often the Witch King is in play, so that's why it would be S. But let's say that there was one that talked about having Theoden corrupted or whatever. Even if the effect is decently good, it would probably be F. So that's how we're going to be ranking these. And the ones that are A or S, S would be things that are just always really, really good. And then A would be very good stuff, I guess. So let's do it. The Lore of the Elven Rings. Play on the table before action resolution begins. If any of the keeper of the Elven Rings die result in an I, you may change the result shown to any one of your action. Sorry. You may change the result shown on any one die in your action roll to another result of your choice. This is a weird one. I don't think I've seen this one before. You can discard it with Will of the West or any action in Elven Ring. Yeah. I'm going to put this one in F. Yeah, okay. So I guess we are polarizing right off the bat. I don't think that will often happen. If you spend something to give yourself a chance that something good will happen later, that seems crazy to me. I would not waste my time with this. There's also a lot of these ones that you play on the table that your opponent can get rid of. So the effect needs to be pretty good, I guess I would say. All right. Essentially, this tile comes into play when you go on the hunt, or when you get to the Mordor track. This would get added to the pool. So it's 1 corruption. The Fellowship is revealed, and they don't advance on the Mordor track, which is huge. So that's huge. There's no prerequisites. I think I'm going to put this one in S. I always say that I'll come back and change these if I need to. This one I actually might change if I need to. All right. Lidless Eye. Change up to 3 unused shadow action dice results to eyes, then place them in the hunt box. This one I think can be helpful. I would put this one in B. I think this is your standard of you're not giving yourself anything extra, but you are defending yourself from bad rolls, essentially. Yeah, so I'm good with it. Wormtongue. Play on the table if Saruman is in play. When Wormtongue is in play, Rohan can't be activated except by an appropriate companion or by the Fellowship being declared in Edoras or Helm's Deep, or by an attack on Edoras or Helm's Deep. You must discard this card from the table as soon as Rohan is activated or if Saruman is eliminated. I like this one a lot. I think this becomes even more relevant if Theoden is being used, essentially, because then you can make it so that they can't get Theoden. Because I believe that... I can't remember exactly. I think all Rohan needs to be is active. So I'm going to put Wormtongue in A. Alright. The ring wraiths are abroad. Move any or all Nazgul. Then you may either move 2 armies, each containing Nazgul, or attack with 1 army containing a Nazgul. Alright, so this does one thing for you. So you essentially, you pay a die and a card to move Nazgul, and then you can either get like a move or attack action with one of those, which is really good. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to put this one in B. Yeah, I'm just going to put this one in B, I'm going to go with. Because it does cost you the card. These cards are resources as well, considering that they have their bottom effect. Morgul Wound. Play if the fellowship is revealed. If the fellowship's current corruption is 3 or less, add 2 corruption points. Otherwise, add 1 corruption point. I actually love this. 2 corruption is so good. And also, in my opinion, so this is going to get you at least to somewhere from 2 to 5. The corruption after you play this card will be somewhere from 2 to 5, most likely. Even if it's higher, you could get the winning point of corruption here or whatever, but I just see this as a massively helpful card. There's some cards that try to do something for you, but this is just literally always going to do something. It's not that you have to roll or anything. I love guaranteed results. Grond, Hammer of the Underworld. Play if the Witch King is in play and is with an army besieging stronghold. Okay, so super specific. Attack that stronghold. The siege lasts for 3 combat rounds instead of 1. During the first round, the Free People player cannot use combat cards unless a companion is in the battle. Alright. This one is super, super specific, but it's super relevant. Essentially, this saves you 2 downgrades of an elite unit, and it makes it so that the Free People player can't play a card. Or at least there's a decent chance they can't play a card. I am going to put this one in S. I think that's big, and I think that theoretically your opponent wouldn't know that that was coming, which I think is really good. Okay, Orc Patrol. Play if the fellowship is not in a region containing a Free People settlement. Draw a hunt tile. If the hunt is an eye or a special tile, discard it. Otherwise, just resolve it. I've used this one, and I just unfortunately struck out when I used it. I hit the eye. But I do like this. We're going to put this in A. I think it's just a good card. Okay. Your welcome is doubtful. Play on the table. While this card is in play, the Free People player cannot remove corruption from a sovereign and can only awaken a sovereign if his nation is at war. The Free People player can force this to be discarded using Will of the West, or a character die result if a non-corrupted sovereign and a companion are together in the same region. Cool. So you can get rid of this. I'm not going to put this in A. I'm just going to put this one in B. I think, yeah, maybe if you get this first turn, maybe it could be higher. I would rather spend time corrupting sovereigns than making it so that my opponents can't uncorrupt them, if that makes any sense. Not on anybody's side. Play on the table if the Free People Nation or Free People faction is in play. No faction event cards or call to battle cards of the Ent or Eagles can be played. The Free People can get rid of this with the Will of the West or any action if Gandalf the White is in play. I guess let me go back though. So if all of these cards that say they can be discarded if a Will of the West action die is used, if the Shadow player uses 1 die and 1 card, and the Free People player has to use a Will of the West, which is their best die, and it has to be used for, it can be used for very specific, very good things. If you ever play a card and they get rid of it with the Will of the West, that is a win for you, in my opinion. If they do it with the other version, such as Gandalf the White is in play and they just use any action die, that's still not a horrible trade, because it's kind of you using one die and them using one die, which you have more dice than they do. So I think that that's a reasonable trade. But anyways, back to this card. I like this one. This one's going to go to A. I think that this can essentially clear up a huge part of the board from you, from there being any shenanigans. And especially if the free people player isn't as good, doesn't know what they're doing, you can save this till later, play this, and then attack with your last action, and your opponent wouldn't be able to call to battle or help defend with those factions. So, Worn with Sorrow and Toil. Play on the table when this card is in play. If a companion in the fellowship is taken as a casualty, you may discard one of the free people player's character cards from his hand, choosing randomly, or from the table. Now that is good. You must discard this card from the table immediately if the fellowship is declared in an unconquered free people city or stronghold. Okay, so this I see as huge. Yeah, because you already want to be... Okay, so what does your opponent want to do? Your opponent wants to move the ring. They want to kill off their companions to stop the corruption, essentially. So this counters the thing that they absolutely want to do. So you play this card and it stays there for a very long time. They can't just get rid of it with the Will of the West. And assuming that they have left Rivendell at all, you can just play this, and then whenever they take casualties, you can remove cards from their hand, which is really, really, really costly for the free people player. And if you use this well, there's a chance you're going to get 3 or more cards discarded with this. So, yeah, this one's going to go at S. Huge fan of that card. The Palantir of Minas Tirith. Play if you control Minas Tirith, or if Denethor, Corrupted Ruler, is in play. Look at the event cards in the hand of the free people player and choose one of them. Place it back into the matching deck and shuffle it, or discard that card if the Palantir of Barad-dûr is in play. Then, if the Palantir of Orthanc is in play, you may draw one event card from one of your decks. Okay, yeah, sorry. So we're actually just going to go back to this one real quick. You can also discard cards from the table, which is even better, because then your opponent would have played a card, and you just get to discard it, which is just amazing. So, this card's so good. This card is also good. I messed up the last game I played. My opponent ended up beating me because of a card they had in their hand, and I had this one earlier. So if I had looked in their hand, which I could have done, I could have gotten rid of that, theoretically. But I didn't have the Palantir of Orthanc. So I think... I think we're going to put this one in B. I do think this is a good card, but it's not 100% the easiest to do. And it's great if it combos, but we're assuming it's not going to combo. The Black Captain commands. Play if the Witch King is in play. You may either recruit 2 Nazgul in a region containing the Witch King, or move any or all Nazgul. Then you may move or attack with an army containing the Witch King. Okay. I'm a big fan of this card. You want to recruit Nazgul. That's a great thing. And then you get to do something after it as well. I think I can only put it in B, though. It's not efficient. It's something you want to do, but it's not efficient enough to go in A, I guess is what I'll say. Play if the Fellowship is not in a region containing a free people settlement. Draw a hunt tile. If the hunt tile is an I think we already had one of these. Discard without effect. Otherwise... Okay, otherwise follow the rules of successful hunt, except that the damage may not be reduced in any way before using the ring. That's great. Yeah. Orc Patrol is similar. Isildur's Bane is better, though. So this one's going to go in S. The ring is mine. So this comes into play. It's an I, and then it would reveal the fellowship, and they don't get to advance. When you're on the Mordor track, eyes are do as many corruption as the amount of eyes in the hunt box. So yeah, this one is just ridiculously good. Yeah, that was just ridiculously good. You know what? Maybe I'll bump Give It to Us just to A, because you do a lot of stuff and you really hurt your opponent, but you only do one corruption. No, I can't. I gotta leave it up here. I think both of them delay your opponent so much that they both deserve to be up here. Okay. The Lure of the Ring. Play if the Fellowship is revealed. Randomly select one companion in the Fellowship by drawing a companion counter. The free people player must either add corruption equal to the companion's level or eliminate them. If Gollum is the guide, add one corruption point instead. This is, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, Gollum can be the guide and actually help you in certain situations. Yeah, I love this. I love this. Because maybe they've split the Fellowship at this point and you know that there's only one person left, theoretically. And you can just take that person out. And then get Gollum out there. Or you can just hope you get lucky and get somebody with 3 hit points and have it be a great move. So, Lure of the Ring, I think is going to go... we'll go in A. I'm sure there's certain companions that would just be happy to sacrifice themselves, but... yeah, I think A is probably reasonable. Okay, Candles of Corpses. Play if the Fellowship is not in the region containing a Free People settlement. Roll 3 dice and add 1 corruption on each roll of 4 or more. If Gollum's the guide, instead it's 6 is the target number. I think this one will be A. One of your main ways to win is corrupting the ring. That's a huge thing. So you're gonna stats say you should get 1.5 corruption from this card most of the time. So I'm happy if I play a card and I get 1 or 2 corruption from it. That's a good deal. Palantir of Orthanc. Play if Saruman is in play. When this is in play, after using the event action die result to play an event card, immediately draw another card from either one of your decks. The free people player can force this to be discarded using Will of the West or any action die in an Elven Ring. And then you also have to get rid of it if Saruman is eliminated. Yeah, this is so good. Yeah, this is so good. S. Flocks of Crebain. Play on the table. Before you make a hunt roll, you may discard Flocks of Crebain to add 1 to all dice on the hunt roll, including rerolls. You must discard this if the Fellowship is declared an unconquered Free People city or stronghold. Okay, this one is probably better than I think that it is, but I'm just going to put this in B. And the reason for that is that your opponent can make you get rid of it, so it's not something that sticks out there and helps you the entire game. And it's a one-time use thing, and you're hoping that by adding 1 to your dice results, that you will hit the Fellowship. But even if you do hit the Fellowship, maybe they can still cancel it and all this stuff, so it feels like it just doesn't do enough for you. Honestly, I'm going to be a jerk. I'm going to put this all the way down and C. I don't think it's very good. Okay, Dreadful Spells. Play if a Shadow Army containing a Nazgul is adjacent to or in the same region as a Free People army. Roll a number of dice equal to the number of Nazgul, and then score hit on 5+. I do like this one. This one's going to go in A. Nazgul Strike. Play if the fellowship is on step 1 or higher of the fellowship track. Move any or all Nazgul. Then if at least one Nazgul is in a region with the fellowship, you may either discard one Free People character event from the table or roll for a hunt. Essentially as if they had moved. I do like this one. I think this one's gonna be... I think this one's gonna be A, because it's very likely you can play this card. You do want to move the Nazgul, that's helpful. And then you have some options. You can either go for the hunt if you want to, or if there's a card that the Free People have that's just horribly annoying, you can just get rid of it. So I think this is a big utility card. I really like it. We won't go back. Play if Smeagol is the guide. You may discard a character event card from your hand or discard We Won't Get It to add 2 corruption points when a Smeagol tile is drawn during the hunt. This effect cannot be prevented using cards or abilities which modify the hunt. Alright. So... I'm just going to put this one in B. It can be helpful, but here's the problem. Honestly, I'm going to put this one in C. Number one, it's not super likely Smeagol is going to come and play. So you might just have this the entire game, quote unquote, and never be able to use it. You also can't play it until Smeagol is the guide. So even if you do hold it for a while, it's not like you can play it and then wait for the opportune time. You have to wait till Smeagol comes out. And then after that, you might never draw another Smeagol tile again. So, but if you do get the effect, it's good. Yeah, so I guess we'll just put it there. Alright, play if the Fellowship step 1 or higher on the Fellowship track. Cruel Weather, this card is huge. Move the Fellowship to an adjacent region. So this is huge. This is like your one way to be able to mess with the Fellowship and have them be somewhere that they really don't want to be. You can also delay their path to Mordor, because if there were one outside of Mordor and then they had moved one this round, so that they could declare in Mordor next turn, you can use this so they have to wait a whole nother round to get to Mordor, which is just massive. So that card's amazing. The Balrog has come. Play if the Balrog is in play. Activate the Balrog. Level is now 2. If he's already active, you can instead move or attack with him, or just move him by himself. The Balrog is eliminated if it is not in Moria when it becomes inactive. I do not love this. I do think this one is actually helpful. I just don't think it's good enough. It's gonna go in C. There's chances that it could be helpful, but I just feel like it's not very good. All right. You add this to the hunt box. You don't reveal the Fellowship, but you do 3 corruption, and then they don't get to advance. Because they don't get to advance, this one's going to go on S as well. Yep, you can still see that one. Okay, just got a few more left. The West has failed. Initiate a corruption attempt on a sovereign or in a region adjacent to or in the same region as a Nazgul without removing an eye from the hunt box. This corruption attempt is possible even if the Free People player has no unused action dice left. That's cool. My guess would be that you could use this on top of your normal corruption attempt for the round as well. So that's good. So because of that, I think I'm going to put this one... I'm just going to leave it in B. I do think it's good. I don't think it's the best thing in the world. Foul Thing from the Deep. Play if the Fellowship is not in a region containing a Free People settlement. Draw a hunt tile. If it's an eye, discard it. Otherwise, follow the rules of successful hunt. Except the Free People player Must reduce hunt damage, if any, by eliminating a random companion unless there's no companions before using the ring. So, I feel like this one can mess up the plans, our people's plans. So I'm going to put this one in A. It's good you get to kill somebody, maybe. Oh no, you literally just automatically draw a hunt tile. So, you know, I don't think I can put this in S. I do think it belongs in A though. Okay, the gates are closed. Play on the table. The fellowship moves into, out of, or through, or remains stationary in unconquered shadow stronghold while being declared or revealed. You may discard. The gates are closed to draw an additional hunt tile. If the tile shows an eye, discard without effect. Otherwise, follow the rules of a successful hunt, ignoring any reveal icons. This can get discarded using Will of the West or a character action die if Gandalf the Grey or Gollum is the guide. Yeah, I actually like this a lot. Yep, I like this one a lot. I think this is going to be S. I think you can still see that one. Okay. Nazgul Search. Play if the fellowship is step 1 or higher on the fellowship track. Move any or all of the Nazgul. Then, if at least one Nazgul is in a region with the fellowship is revealed. I love that. Yeah, I feel like this can combo, right? So you're going for the ring, you play this card, you reveal the fellowship, and then you have 2 other cards that do stuff to a revealed fellowship. You would only do this in opportune time, but I feel like this is totally doable, and that it's a great call. So I'm only going to put it in A, even though I think it has great utility, because it doesn't do anything immediately good for you. You just can combo with other stuff. The breaking of the fellowship. Play if the fellowship is revealed. Draw a hunt tile. If it is an eye, discard it. Otherwise, the free will player must separate a number of companions equal to the number on the tile, placing them in the same region as the fellowship. Ignore any reveal or stop icons on the tile. If Gollum's a guide, add 1 corruption point instead. Yeah, so, I like that so much. I like this card a lot. Okay, so I think this one's going to go in A. Yeah, so that's the tier list. Wow, I honestly didn't think that the character deck was that good, but there's a ton of these cards that are S, a ton of these that are A, some that are B, and then literally just 4 that are below average. So, wow, this might be revealing. Thanks for watching, people.